Father, first of all, let me thank you for the active participation in our strategy planning final workshop. And I was really motivated by six of you actively participating with your experience, with your anxieties, and with the concern for the people. How do we take it forward? Now, let me also thank you that when for the delegation superior and for the sergeant visited your center. You have been highly cooperative, give them all the information, your expectations, which I put by. Now, in a kind of a video presentation, I have highlighted our 10 goals. I have highlighted our objectives. I have highlighted our strategies. This is becoming our strategic planning documents. But right now, the programs and projects or the translation of this document into projects and programs cannot be at the delegation level. It has to be at your level, at the community level. The planning from bottom up has to come. How do you see that you will be able to take it forward? Or what are your concerns for taking it at your level forward?
Good. Thank you for this question. First of all, I must acknowledge that I was not supposed to be in this particular meeting. There was Father Charles Taban and Father Farrington who were much more prepared for this particular meeting than myself. But at the same time, I'm happy. I'm happy to have made some contribution in the absence of my confreres, particularly in the Sudan, no, the two communities or the three communities of the Sudan. Now, what I feel sitting in a meeting like this is this. First of all, this is the first time many of these things are coming to me, like, you know. So I felt that I am like one of these communities in the North Sudan, knowing practically nothing about these terms that you spoke of. And so I was thinking, if and definitely sometimes many of the people will say now that you are in the meeting there, explain to us what is this, what is this. I have it. I myself, I'm trying to remember what are these terms and what are the meanings, and I'm not getting them. No, so I can very well imagine when this goes to the community, definitely they will have problems in understanding some of these terms. So it would be nice that you simplify some of these terms, no, so that we are able to understand and we want to cooperate. I must tell you this, that our communities are they want to contribute. Yes, they want to, because we know that it is for our own benefit and the benefit of the people entrusted to us and the benefit of the communities. So definitely we want to collaborate and cooperate. But in order to make our collaboration and cooperation more effective and more real, we would like to understand more all about these terms and projects and things like that.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Father. I mean, that is a very genuine concern. Because the terms, it comes from the project cycle management, new terms. For example, we used to say about the changes brought about or the impact of a program. It is still considered as an impact in the new terms. We used to talk about this is my goal. Running a vocational training is my goal. That comes as the outcome of a project in the new term. Suppose I want to appoint teachers in your college. I want to put up a training center there. I want to put up some laboratory there. All these will have the different objectives of running a program.
So the outcome is the goal.
Outcome is the goal. At the end of the 3 years, what are you trying to achieve?
And the impact is?
Because of that, the achievement of the goal, what is happening to the lives of the people? Let me explain to you like this. Right now, you came for a session.
Yeah.
2 days we are to do this. That is our input.
Okay.
Input, just input. You also give input, all of us give input with it. Now, the output of this input is your knowledge increase. Your technicality is increase. A strategic document is ready. This is the output. Now, this output will be translated into action when we develop projects and programs based on the outputs.
Yeah.
The output of this 2 days training is as documents in our hands, which is seen, plus your knowledge, your skills, which has been enhanced. That is the outputs. Outcome will come when this is put into practice. Now, only then, once it's practiced, of all the goals we are going to put into practice in say 10 different projects, the result of those changes will be the impact in the community. Now, I can also take you another example. For example, Father Dominic was there with you. But Dominic wants to start a street children program there. Children is one of our goals. Now, what is now? First of all, his goal is rehabilitation of the street children. That is his goal. That is the project. So he is going
Which
to.
we would say in this particular term, the outcome.
It will say the outcome is 500 street living boys are rehabilitated. That is the outcome of the project. That is the outcome. Which will you, when you will achieve it after 3-year periods. So in order to achieve that rehabilitation of those 500 boys, there should be many outputs or many objectives should be achieved. Now, what is objective number 1? A center for them to stay. You appoint some teachers there.
So what we were talking about as objectives, in this particular term, it will come, technically it will come as output.
Outputs. It will come as outputs. What are the, what will you put it there? Outputs will come. So different outputs, like a training center, sanitation, toilet facilities, water facilities, appointment of staff, all these are your outputs. These outputs will lead to your outcome of rehabilitating the students. Now, to have these outputs, training centers, you have to have inputs. What is input to here? You have to activities. You have to make an architect, make a blueprint for the building. That is an input.
So now, what we were talking of as what we understood as activities to be done, in the technical term, you say this is an input.
It's an input to the project.
This is input. So
input to the project, which will have its cost element. So this input, when you put it up, you have to identify teachers. So you go for a recruitment process, call the advertisement, teachers come. That is all your activity, your inputs. At the result of this input, you have teachers appointed. That is the output.
So now you are talking about in this particular technical way of talking now, you're talking about result, impact, outcome, output, input. Can you now, in the simpler way, the previous way of talking, how we would reach that result, or use those terms that we were using earlier, from input, how we would go back to the impact, to the result.
So here, the all project management strategy today is known as result-based management. Because today nobody is going to ask you, for Jacob, what are you doing? If I give money to you, I will not ask you, what did you do with the money? I will ask you, what is the result of your action? What is the fruit of your action? You must have been working so hard many places, but that is not the concern right now for me. The concern for me would be, what did you achieve? What is the results of your actions? So that is what is the result-based management.
The achievement.
The achievement. The changes you have brought in. So if you want a simple explanation for it, I do a training for a teacher.
Activity.
It's an activity. It's an input. I'm inputting a training. The teacher's skills improved for the teacher's skills is improved. That is the output. And the teacher is able to teach so well the students. Therefore, the students are getting a better results. That is the outcome.
Which we used to say as goal.
Which is a goal. And the impact is, because I am educated, I get a job, I get income. With that income, I can manage my house.
Family.
I am independent. There's love in my family. There is sharing. That is the impact of this activity. That is the expected change. So the only thing is, we are bringing this into a result-based language. What is the result that we are achieving because of this? And if this project, out of this 10 goals. Each goal has got an average 6 objectives. There are 60 objectives. So if you select one goal and 2-3 objectives, on that you can develop a project proposal. And I do not expect you to be technically qualified to prepare the projects. So therefore, the PDO office will employ technically qualified people who will not prepare a project for you, who will facilitate you to prepare, because the project has to be owned by you. So you cannot say that the PDO office come here, you develop a project for me. No, developed by you, because you are the owner. You means certainly you, the community with whom you work. So but they will facilitate to put this into the technical language. Right now, what is expected from the center is, from these goals, identify which goal you want to do in your center.
Then you talked about the indicator and the MOV.
Yes.
Can you explain something more about that?
Yes, Father.
In this process of attaining the result based.
Yes. In the result based, one of the most important factors is monitoring and evaluation.
Monitoring and evaluation is this
MOV. No. MOV is the means of verification.
Means of verification.
How do you verify?
Okay.
That you are achieved. Suppose you are said, out of 500 students, 300 students after the training in the vocational training classes have obtained jobs. That is your achievement of your goal.
Okay.
They have got job. How do you verify? I can also simply write, what is the means of verification?
Okay.
The means of verification, where they are employed, their appointment letters, or their income certificate. Some will be their data will be there to verify. Second thing,
indicator.
The indicator means what was your targets? You wanted to target 500 youth. Right now you are reached only 250, which means a measurable change. Only 250 out of 500 have been benefited, which means another 250 has to be still educated. So you're getting indicators. So indicators are both quantity and quality. Indicator will measure the change. It will quantitatively it will measure the number of people you have helped. Qualitatively it will measure how good was your training. Was it excellent? Was it very good? Your performance, how good it is. So it will measure both quantity and quality. So that is what is used for monitoring. Unless there is no indicators, we cannot monitor the projects. So therefore, indicators are given targets to the projects. For example, I want to provide drinking water facilities 50 families. How many families have the water now obtained to the projects? If the 60% people have got, more than the expected. If it's only 25 people got it, only 50% is successful. We'll be able to measure it.
And then what about assumption that you are talking about? What is this about?
Yes, any project today, when we deal with the funding partners, the question comes, you promise you will do it. I gave you money for that one. Why it is not being done? Sometimes in the present situation, you are not able to do many things. But I have given you money to do it. Why you don't do it? You will give answers. That was problem was there, this problem was there. No? But then you have to go for answers. So therefore now a new technique has come into project proposal called assumptions. I will do this and get this result provided the things remain the same.
The situation
remain the same. For example, you want to promote organic agriculture in the villages. People are going to paddy fields there. So you are training them agriculture. And they are going to put paddy. They are going to, or vegetables, they are going to grow it there. The assumption is the people will continue staying there. Tomorrow some war break out. All of them are displaced. What will happen to your project?
It will be delayed or it will not be realized.
Therefore, that is the assumption.
Okay. Can we say this?
In the beginning itself, external challenges are your assumptions.
Okay. External
challenges or the external risk are your assumptions.
Provided these challenges will actually eventually affect the realization of the project. The time of the realization of the project.
It will affect. So I planned for 3-year period. Now the people migrated because of situation. So my year will increase. Because since it's given in the assumption, the agency knows. Yes, this is what you have to visualize. So why assumption is important is it will show that you are well experienced of the risk involved in the projects.
Okay.
It is to get a feeling from the project holder that you are aware of the risk.
Yeah.
Very often we don't take any risk analysis.
Mm.
We simply we feel this is to be done, apply for a project and get the money.
Okay.
When things happen, we will do what happen.
Yeah. Okay.
And in order to establish your credibility,
Mm.
this is very, very important.
Mm.
That it is not me who
Yeah.
is causing the delay.
Yeah.
It is something beyond my control.
Yeah.
Either a floods
Yeah.
or a war
Yeah.
or something has happened there.
Yeah.
I am not able to achieve the objectives. That's why assumptions we predict. Assumptions come from your experience, which will show in a project appraisal that this person is very conscious about what he should be taking care. The second need of the assumption is also, I know these people will definitely oppose this project. Suppose you are aware.
Yeah.
Then you can develop more activities in order to get their support. So when you identify an assumption, you can also develop more activities. It will address the challenge.
Okay.
So that you can, that also will be considered. For example, you know this government officer is really against you. He may stand against me. You are sure about it. In that case, you have developed a strategy how to get him around. So that's your assumption. That he may be against. So that get him around it. Maybe another assumption I can tell you for a simple understanding. You are promoting a drinking water program in a community. So far, there was another person who used to sell water there. You are getting money. Now that you are making a borewell, that man is going to be unemployed. He will make sure that you don't get water there. He will object that one. So once you think about it, then it's an assumption. He will something. So therefore, he should be taken into consideration. Some alternative rehabilitation has to be given to him along with the drinking water for the community. So he also leaves. That is the purpose of identifying the assumptions.
Thank you.
But these are all simple things. But when you talk about the first time when we hear, we think this is
because
only
it's all-
basic professionalism. Again, I tell you, your role right now in the community center is identify with the community what are our problems. But please, heaven's sake, never make promises to the community. We are going to do it for you. Never. It is the community identifies an issue. There's also a capacity assessment area, what they can do. What is lacking, they cannot do. What is support, I think PDO should be able to come and help you developing a proposal. So what is expected is, out of these 10 goals, your 8 centers are there. Each center takes up at least 3 goals for this time, which means at least 3 projects. So we are able to put the strategy plan into projects and programs.
Anyway, thank you. I hope I will be able to keep in mind some of these things, and then when we get back to the communities, the communities also will be able to translate this very same knowledge into practical this thing in preparing the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you